And this is just a thank you note. You know, I started using the internet on a regular basis only 3 years ago. I have since published on the web, I think, many things: fiction, poetry, articles, and now I am blogging. So I would just like to thank all those who have encouraged me by reading or commenting my writings, and I hope that many more readers will come to my blog in the future, inshallah, to see my work. And there is another thing I wanted to say. You know, when I checked the blog statistics of my blog, Innocent Whispers, yesterday, I found that a visitor had come to this blog by looking up on the web the meaning of ibtila. That wasn't the first time. And I don't know whether it was the same person who came to my blog by looking for the meaning of ibtila on the web. Anyway, I think I should tell you an anecdote. Two students, two university students, were sitting at a cafe. They were discussing a religious topic. One said, Allah said this, the other said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that. And then someone who was sitting close by asked them, what do Allah and the Prophet say about someone who has been jobless for 8 years? And they just looked at him dumbfounded. They didn't find any words to say to him. And I should say that personally, there came a time when I found myself in a roughly quite similar situation many years ago. I was going through a hardship, and I had so many questions because I just couldn't understand what was happening to me. Even then, I used to go to mosque, I said my prayers like any other Muslim, I read books. I had some basic knowledge of Islam, of my faith. Otherwise, why bother practicing it? But then, when I was going through that hardship, and I compared myself to people around me, people with whom I had grown up, friends, classmates, relatives, neighbors, I couldn't understand why I was singled out to suffer what they weren't suffering at that time. I continued to go to mosque, and I listened to sermons. I listened to so many religious programs on TV, on the radio. I read books. I discussed with friends. But unfortunately, nobody, nothing was enough to explain to me convincingly why I was going through that bad situation. So I had to find some way to explain that to myself. Therefore, I decided to read the Quran on my own, verse by verse, in the hope that I would find some kind of explanation. And it didn't take me long before I started finding convincing answers to my questions. I found a clear explanation to my situation. And that's what I would sum up in a word: ibtila. When I read the Quran in that way, I understood that ibtila was not just an abstract word. It was rather the focal point of life. I mean, all life is about ibtila. For example, if you have a job, you are in a case of ibtila. If you are jobless, you are in a case of ibtila. If you have children, you are in a case of ibtila. If you are childless, you are in a case of ibtila. So whatever your life is like, you are in a case of ibtila. And when I thought I had enough answers to my questions, I decided to note that down in a book. It was rather a manuscript because it was never published. And the people who read that manuscript liked it. You know, I don't even keep a copy of that manuscript. But now that I have become a writer, a little bit known on the web, I thought it was perhaps time for me to share my experience with my readers. I know that few of my readers may be in a situation that would push them to look for the meaning of ibtila. And I hope that all my readers are well and don't even need such thing. But each time I check the blog's statistics of innocent whispers, I realize that what I have written about this topic, I mean patience and hope, and now I'm preparing something about ambition, I see that people are interested in this topic. And I feel glad about this. So, once again, I would like to thank all those who have read my stories, my poems, my articles, even those who have never commented on them. By merely looking at the growing number of viewers, I feel amply gratified, and I feel a growing responsibility. And I hope that more and more readers will come to my blogs, because you know I have several ones, to see my work. And I would just like, to say I wish you all the best, and hope we'll keep in touch through my blogs, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.